Want to know how to make $2 million tax-free? Here's how. I'm Jerry Katz, the CEO of Premier Protection Insurance. I own industrial, commercial, multifamily, and retail. And I insure over $4 billion worth of commercial real estate in Florida. So here's my latest project. It's completed, right? That building, this building, and that. So what do we have here before? Take a look at these pictures. An old check cashing store. Now this building wasn't for sale, and neither was the one next to it. So I did a little hunting. I saw a neglected store in a really nice area because I'm in downtown Fort Lauderdale. If you can see the cranes behind me, what do you see? You see cranes, right? That means 900 units going up. There's downtown, and this is 175 feet on Federal Highway with an approximate car count of 55,000 a day, one of the highest in the counties. So I identified a check cashing store that looked like crap. So total square footage of this property is 5,200 square feet. I hounded the owner. I called him. It's a guy named Ed Wilson. And I said, sell it to me. Sell it to me at a 5 cap. Come on, I just sold one of my office buildings. I want to renovate it. It's going to look good. And I knew he was close to retirement. Now I called him, and this is what it takes, by the way, persistence. I called him 20 times in 2 years to sell it to me. And I also knew, he told me that he wanted to retire and move to Amelia Island, so I knew one day it would happen. So one day I got a call about a year ago saying, Jerry, I want 3.4 million. I go, Ed, at $3.4 million, I'm gonna lose money, even with 30% down. Why? Because he was renting $5,200 a square feet for $30 a foot triple net. Do the math and take a look at these pictures. The numbers are important. That's why I'm going to put them up on the pictures. So the leases were up, and one guy was behind on the rent in this building, an old nursery. So what do we do? So back and forth, he wouldn't sell it to me. Then I heard he sold his house. That's right, he sold his house, and I heard that he actually made the move to Amelia Island. So I called him again. I go, Ed, you moving? He said, yeah. I said, come on, sell it to me. He said, let me think about it. I'm going to talk to my brother because he owned it with him. And guess what? He eventually called me back about a week later. He's a handshake guy, which so am I, which is important. Integrity and values. One good deal leads to 10 good deals. Don't try to, destroy the guy, right? Or get it so cheap. If you think the property's worth 3.4 million and you make an offer to him that says, I'll give you 2 million, he's not going to call you back. So think win-win. And when you create a win-win situation, which is the core values of my company, myself, my family, and our culture at my office, win-win and the laws of the universe, right? I breathe out oxygen, that tree gives me carbon monoxide. Win-win. And then you'll get deals done. It's a critical point. Keep that in mind. Don't be too greedy, because no one wants to leave a deal table thinking like they got robbed or pissed. But if you create good deals, your reputation grows. And when your reputation grows, then you get resources and you get deal flow. So back to the property. Then all of a sudden, I got a call. Jerry, you said you would buy a 5 cap, correct? Yeah. This is what I'm going to do. Give me 30% down, 2.9 million. There's your 5 cap. I'm an owner finance it. I said, really? Yeah. Because I need some mailbox money because he's moving to Amelia Island. So guess what? 5% interest only, because at that time, when we bought it, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, actually, the rates were competitive to where the banks were. And he did it. And I got it. And I said, Ed, what's up? My lawyer will draw up the contracts. He said, Jerry, just come to my house and shake my hand. We got a deal. We'll have the lawyers do it later. Long story short, we did it. We closed. We had a beer. Ed's a stand-up guy. 30% down, 2.9 million, $30 a foot. Here's the key to the deal. Both these leases only had 1 year left at $30 a foot. Nobody on Federal Highway had gotten $55 a foot. But I knew it could be had, because if you go up to Class A property, which is that way up Federal, closer to downtown Fort Lauderdale, there's a guy, I won't mention his name, but on his Class A, he can get as high as $75 a foot. So down here, I said, I'm going to go for $55 a foot. But I can't do it unless I gut these places. So long story short is I filed permits, got a contractor for about a $400,000 renovation, and that's what we did. We, during the time that these tenants were paying, right? And by the way, they stayed until my permits and plans were complete, right? Why? Because who wants to carry a building vacant? So when you have a tenant that wants to stay, I put them on a month-to-month lease. And I'm going to step back a little so you can hear me better. So I put them on a month-to-month lease, and they were paying me month-to-month, both of them, but I also had 30 days to get out of the deal if I needed to, out of the lease. So what do? I take advantage of that, right? And kept them in the properties. They were paying, got all my permits, got everything ready, and then when it was time, I gave them notice. I gave them 30 to 45-day notice, super friendly with the leases. The check cashing store was a national tenant. They actually wanted to stay, but they weren't willing to pay $55 a foot. And I honestly didn't want them here. I wanted to change the neighborhood and bring in higher tenants, and that's what I did. So that's the deal. I did that. Now the property, $400,000 renovations. We, had a couple tenants bite. Once they saw the property up, the new windows, floor to ceiling, new roofs, new everything. Basically, we left 3 walls in each building and then renovated everything with new roofs, hurricane windows, floor to ceiling glass. Brought it up to a Class A property. Okay, $400,000 later. Once they saw the facade and the parking lot and things going on, $55 a foot is what we got. So I'm going to put up the numbers again. I took out $2 million tax-free. That's right, because I just refinanced this loan at 66%. Sorry, at 6%. So I'm going to put up all the numbers so you can see. So long story short, we bought a property for $2.9 million, raised the rent over $100,000. It's worth over $5 million. Then you go to the bank, you cash out refi, you get the majority of your cash all back, plus pay off the old loan, which is now due, coming soon. And Ed's pissed because he won't get the mailbox money, and we pay him every month on time, interest only. Now I'll stabilize the property, I'll park it, I'll pull out all my cash, plus the rest tax-free, $2 million tax-free, right? This is real estate investing, not, some talk show like Rich Dad, Poor Dad who talks about it. I'm showing you the math. Take a look. Study these, take a screenshot. And if you like our content and the video, click below, subscribe, hit the likes, all that. Why? Because I'll keep producing it. And my whole world revolves around educating you and showing you what's possible. But some key things to this deal, right? Number one, the deal wasn't on the market. Number two, I identified an area that I saw neglected property, and I reached out to the owner to make things happen. So if you're out there as a real estate investor looking at the MLS or looking at LoopNet or looking at Crexy, you think it's going to happen? No, because the brokers, which we work with all the time, right, they would put it out at a retail number. Well, this one could have been a good deal, but, the guy wasn't ready to sell and he didn't want to use a broker. I'm not saying don't use brokers, because I use them all the time, and I have a network that hand me deals, so they are super valuable. If you are a seller, not a buyer, always use a broker. They, in my experience, always get more. Why? Because they have a network, they have clients, they are more institutional clients, and they have clients who may be syndicators that are looking for smaller returns just because they have to move the money. Another key point, use brokers. We highly recommend Daniel Cunningham and his team at Marcus & Millichap. Why? They have great ethics, they have great deals, and they always get the highest selling price. And if you're a good client, they'll get you the best buy as well. So my point to you is all these little tricks that I threw at you show you how to make the money and show you what's possible in real estate. And it's real. There's even more. There's tax benefits and things like that. So stay posted, stay here, keep following. And by the way, last comment I'll make, we also own an insurance business. Why? Because right here we have a triple net lease, right? So I'm not paying the taxes and insurance, but it affects those tenants. So his cash flow, he needs the cheapest insurance for the right protection. right? Just like you as a property owner, if you don't have the lowest insurance out there, you're decreasing the value of your property because of the cap rates. So that's Jerry Katz. That's how you make $2 million tax-free. I'll see you soon. If you want to know more about insurance or real estate investing, check out any of these videos that are posted next to me. Stay tuned. Peace, love. Remember, win-win integrity and reputation.